7:14 on this Wednesday, December 16th. I want to welcome, well, first of all, it's microphone number 2, Lori Mathis.
Good morning.
Boy, those kids at the Mountain Christian Academy, they rock.
They do. We are so proud of them, and thank you for the opportunity to allow them to lead the prayer.
You bet. Jerry at Mike 4.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Do that again.
Hello, Mike.
Good. I've got the compressor shut off over there. We want to welcome Kay Butterfield, who's with the Girl Scouts. Welcome.
Yes.
Good morning. How are
good
you
to have
guys
you.
doing
Good.
today?
Good.
Good.
Thanks for coming.
Well, she's a last-minute sub, and we appreciate her coming in, and we'll make her as comfortable as possible to talk about Girl Scouts. So what's step one here?
Step one is, I guess, would be volunteers. We are always needing volunteers for our girls. We have a new crop of girls coming in pretty soon. They're our daisies. And I have been fortunate to have a troop that I've had from the daisies, and they're now juniors. Wow. That's my one granddaughter, and another granddaughter. She's a brownie troop.
Okay.
And we love our girls.
Did you get involved with the Girl Scouts as a result of your granddaughters, because of your granddaughters?
No, actually, when I moved here, my sister-in-law was with Girl Scouts, and I went to help her because I have a son.
Okay.
And then I was fortunate my son had two girls, so then now I'm a leader. Excellent. For both troops.
Wow.
And how many troops are in this area?
Oh, my goodness. We probably have, I want to say, probably between 10, 15 troops. About like that.
And how many girls are in each?
My troops, I have 6 girls in each troop, and there's some that have more. Some have 10. Some have 12, 15.
Okay.
So it's just our volunteers. We could do nothing without volunteers because we need our volunteers there, and the more girls you have, the more volunteers you need.
What, approximately how many volunteers? Each troop needs a handful of volunteers, I'm assuming?
You need at least 2 volunteers. You need a leader and a co-leader.
Okay.
And then, like my troop, I have almost all my moms help volunteer.
Excellent.
Which is really good. Get some moms involved with the girls and what they're doing.
Yes. So, what are the ages? Because I know sometimes there are volunteers that might feel like they would work better with a certain age group. So, like you mentioned, daisies. Is that the younger group?
Daisies are they are kindergarten.
Okay.
And we start at kindergarten, go all the way through high school.
Okay. So they could, if somebody wanted to volunteer and they were comfortable with a certain age group, they could say, I'd like to volunteer to work with the girls that are in maybe 7th and up or something.
Absolutely. We welcome all volunteers.
Okay. Excellent. Any age or...
Any age. It's just whoever you're comfortable with. And like I started with daisies, and I stay with them the whole time I'm in Girl Scouts. I'm going to stay with those troops.
Wow.
So you move up?
You move up with your troop, and you just get a bond with the girls, get a bond with the moms, and watch the girls grow.
Right.
And just flourish in the world, and stuff that they learn to do.
Wow. So and you said, how long have you been with this troop?
I have 2 troops. My first troop, this is their 5th year.
Okay.
And the second troop, this is their 3rd year.
Okay.
So they are juniors and brownies this year.
Wow. That is so neat.
Brownies. I remember the girls back... Yes, I'm old. When I was in elementary school in the 60s.
Yes, I'm with you. Tan outfits with the little sashes. Oh, yeah, they had their little caps. After school, they would wear their brownie outfits to school back where I went.
You can still wear the vest. When the girls, they wear usually just the vest now.
Okay.
But we still have the whole uniform if you want to go that route.
Right,
Really?
right.
Mm-hmm. And the cookies, is that y'all's only financial means, or do you all do other stuff?
No, as a matter of fact, cookies will, February the 12th is when we have our cookie kickoff this year.
Oh, wow.
And we do have candies and nuts. Candies, nuts, and magazines, and we just finished that up the end of last month. We finished that up.
Okay.
And y'all depend on that to get you through the rest of the year, or that one drive? Or what?
The cookies and the candies and nuts. Mm-hmm. Yes, and we can have people sponsor us.
Oh, really?
Yes, yes. We have sponsors, and we appreciate all of our sponsors.
So businesses or just local people, anybody that's interested in sponsoring?
Yes, we would.
Now, if I remember right, you're part of the Diamonds of Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. Is
Correct.
that right? Now,
Correct.
is that kind of a sub-chapter of Girl Scouts of America?
Yes, we are we go like from Little Rock and to Fayetteville over to Jonesboro. We're just it's this
Regional?
regional. Yes, it's our region.
Okay.
I think it's basically all of Arkansas. There's a little part of Texas in there. Just one little part of Texas in there.
Okay.
Huh.
And you teach them to be better girls. I guess I was not in the Girl Scouts.
But you could be. You could be a
all it
volunteer.
was. Jerry, you're too ugly.
but those, I guess they're called merit pins or merit badges.
Badges.
And you get that as you go along. And the end result is a charming little lady. Is that right?
Most definitely, yes. You
Okay.
watch them grow and flourish, yes. And they learn all kinds of skills. And like I said, our volunteers, we depend on our volunteers because we do, if you have a specific skill,
Right.
we encourage you to come and help us out, and you can teach that skill
Okay.
at any level.
Oh yeah, and so those are like, what are some of the skills that they focus on that they feel are real important for the girls to learn?
You mean what are some of the badges and stuff that we work
the
on?
things that you work on for them to achieve.
We have first aid.
Okay.
And we had an EMT come in to one of our troops and help us with the first aid. We have cooking badges. We're getting new outdoor badges.
Okay.
Fishing, canoeing. You know what? The sky's the limit.
I imagine it is, and I
Sky's the
imagine it
limit.
might vary by region,
Yes.
depending on where you live. The different things they could be involved in.
Yes.
might
Well, what
vary.
about where you're needing volunteers? Do you teach the girls to volunteer in areas where they might be needed for merit badges?
If we can use volunteers for everything, if you want to be a troop leader, we welcome you to be a troop leader. 18 is the age where you can come in and start volunteering as a troop leader. We have we have different events, like we could take a day off and have somebody that does like a tennis. We could have somebody that teaches
Right.
tennis. They can come in and have a class with tennis.
Okay.
Lori's husband's good at that.
Yeah, I'll have to sign him up.
There you go. We'll have to get you with Mel
Tennis or my son.
Yes,
Yeah.
and get you in there. And we have, let's see, what are some of the other things that they do, like anything outdoors, like they have health, anything to do with health or science or anything like that.
Okay.
Huh. Well, now
And you never know. We could have you guys come in, and some of our girls might be interested in doing what you do
Sure.
on the radio here.
Sure.
with them to call us sometime.
Yeah.
Morning prayer.
There you go.
Wow.
Well, now, this is one of the reasons I asked Lori Mathis to come in is to talk girl to girl. This is a totally different age for
Yes.
young girls and young men as compared to what it was when I was in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade. I think the biggest thing you could get in trouble for in the 60s was bringing gum to school. Gum, G-U-M,
Right.
not G-U-N, gun.
Yeah.
There is a difference.
Chewing gum.
Look at where we're at in 40 to 50, 60 years, So, girl to girl over here, how do you meet the needs and the self-esteem issues, and I'm not pretty, or
Right.
she wears makeup and I don't, and you girls can talk about that. How do you deal with that?
Oh, my
Yeah.
goodness.
Do you get into that in the Girl Scouts?
See, that's what's good about our troops. The girls, that's their area where they can sit and they can talk about anything, and they don't have to worry about, pressures of outside. They don't have to worry about the boys being around. They
Right.
don't they're just free to talk about anything. And that's what's good about being in a troop and getting to know each other, and they
They're
feel comfortable.
bonded and they feel safe with each
Safe,
other. And,
yes, yes.
So do you, and I imagine as a troop leader, then you've observed that. Are there any things that maybe the girls talk about that you find, like Dale was sharing how different the culture is. So sometimes when they're having conversations, do you ever find yourself going like, wow, this is really different than when I was growing up?
Now you got to remember, I have 2nd graders and 4th graders. Now the
Right,
4th graders,
young.
they're starting to
They're kind of in that tween.
Yes, they're in between, and they want to be like the 16-year-old and stuff, you know,
Right.
but they're still little girls.
Right. So when they're in that troop, they're still in that little girl mode.
Yes, most of the time.
So you might start encountering that as you move up, as you're moving up with the troops.
I will be growing with them.
Real growing with
You
them.
know, and this will be my experience with girls also because, like I
Sure.
said, I had a son.
Sure.
So I really never had the experience with
Right.
growing up with a little girl. So I'm growing with them.
You're growing with them. How wonderful to have your grandmother as a troop leader.
And I'll give you a little piece of advice when dealing with teenage girls. Take their phone away from them.
Oh,
And it's amazing what you can get done.
Are they allowed to bring their phone to the meeting?
no.
Good.
No.
That's
Good.
why.
As a matter of fact, we have ours on silent. So, you know, the moms, we want ours on silent
Sure.
so we don't interrupt the girls. You
Excellent.
know, but no electronics or anything like
no
that.
electronics.
You know.
Well,
Yeah, we got 3 minutes yet.
I was wondering, like, you know, earlier you were talking about watching the girls grow and seeing them develop and gain self-esteem and that kind of thing. I would love to hear what are some of the things that you've observed in the time that you've been involved that you have found to be very rewarding in what you're involved in and watching these girls and changes that you've seen in them as they're growing and learning.
I consider all these girls my girls.
Uh-huh.
And just like a mom, you know how when they do anything, accomplish anything, you've got that proud. I'm the same way with all them girls. They, you know, they'll come in and say what they've done over the summer, and it's like, yeah, great, you know. Or they with the swimming, they have swimming, and they learn how to do different strokes in swimming. Or if you know they're playing basketball and they're making all the goals and
Right.
stuff, you know, just seeing them grow as a person, as a
Right.
girl, and getting their own personalities. You know, some of them are really quiet, and then after they've been in there for a while, they start coming out of their shell and start talking more. And that's what we want. We want them to be the ones that raise their hand all the time and join the community.
Confidence
And yes, confidence. Mhm.
So are there, like, let's say a girl was 11 years old and she had never been involved prior. Could she still become a part of the Girl Scouts at that age?
Absolutely.
Can they join at any age?
Any
they don't have to
age.
start from
No,
really
any
young.
age. You can start at any age, like from kindergarten to high school.
Uh-huh.
We have troops of all ages,
Right.
and we absolutely want all girls to come and join us
Sure.
and be with the Girl Scouts.
Yes. So the main mission and goal of the Girl Scouts is really to help young ladies develop in all areas,
Yes, be all that they can be and all that they want to
all
be.
that they want to be.
Mhm.
And I know they have a pledge that they say,
Oh, really?
the Girl Scout pledge.
On my honor, I will serve God and my country to help people at all times and live by the Girl Scout law.
Okay.
Wow.
Yep. And we say that after the pledge. We say the pledge to allegiance, and then we say that right after that.
Okay. So can you say it again?
On my honor, let's see. I will try to serve God and my country, to help people at all times, and to live by the Girl Scout law.
I like that. It's nice. And what is the Girl Scout law?
Oh,
Is
that's
it
a long
very
one.
comprehensive?
That's a long one, and I'm not sure of all of those parts right now.
Right.
That would take it up to
Yes.
news time, wouldn't it?
It would. Oh, goodness.
And how long has the Girl Scouts been around? Silly question.
I
know, but
believe
I'm
it was
curious.
1912 is when
Yeah,
Juliet Gordon
yeah.
Lowe started
Yeah.
Girl Scouts.
I think it is because I remember that was the year my grandmother was born and the year the Titanic sank.
Oh, really?
And I was like, and the year Girl Scouts was
Yes.
founded, I believe. I don't
Yeah.
know why I knew that little bit of trivia, but
Well, that's a good piece of trivia to know. Yep, it was 1912 when Juliet Gordon Lowe started.
Yeah, because I
Girl
think we had some folks come in a couple years ago about the 100th anniversary.
wow,
Yeah. Can you believe it?
So the fundraising that you do through the cookies and the fruits and the nuts, is that predominantly just for the operation of the Girl Scouts local in each local area, or what does that also go toward?
That goes to part of it goes to the council,
Okay.
so they can bring programs for the girls to do,
Okay.
and then we do have a portion of it that stays with our troops, so we can buy supplies or do these special things with the girls.
Excellent.
Well, about 10 more seconds, we're going to bring it up to news time. We're visiting with Kay Butterfield, the leader of the Girl Scouts here locally. And check out, you can go Google Girl Scouts, Diamonds of Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas for more information. And, of course, co-host and Lori Mathis, Mountain Christian Academy. And Jerry Hogan's over here at mic number 4. We're going to take a quick break for the news. We'll be right back. $7:35. You know, sometimes I think we have more fun with microphones off than on. Jerry?
Yes, sir.
Where's my coffee?
Uh-oh. Did you drink his coffee?
Rude awakening. It's that good.
I'm going to let you talk for a while. I'm going to go get more coffee.
Okay.
All right.
Now, the Girl Scouts, you're into environmental, I guess, in each region pretty good. Y'all, like conservationists and all that. Do you go on nature walks and have the experts come out and tell you all the different stuff?
We would love to have any volunteers that would like to come and do anything like that for us. If somebody's like into plants or like the football field, the baseball fields, going out there and helping clean and stuff, doing like that, and then showing us different plants and stuff. We would love to have volunteers.
And how would they contact you?
They could contact Melody, and she can get in contact with all of us. And her, she is M. Sykes, Sykes, at girlscoutsdiamonds.org.
Okay, there's a little quick. M. Sykes.
M. Sykes.
At girlscoutsdiamonds.org. Mm-hmm. And Sykes is spelled with a Y.
Yes. Or here's a phone.
M. Sykes at girlscoutsdiamonds.org. Got it.
Mm-hmm. Or her phone number.
And that number is?
479-695-1818.
Good.
And that is our office in Fayetteville.
All right. So if there's any volunteers sitting around into nature and what do they call it?
Conservation.
Conservationists, I guess. Call 479-695-1818.
Ask for Melody.
Speak with Melody. Any other volunteers you need?
We need all kinds of volunteers. We need troop leaders. Like I said, we've got Daisies are going to be coming up. That's our new girls in the kindergarten, first grade, and we need people to help us out.
Excellent.
I'm very fond of our retired community, and there's no doubt that this is a retirement area. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of experience. People, I'm too old. No, you've got a lot of experience.
That's right.
Exactly.
If you consider yourself too old and throw yourself away, I don't buy that. You've got experience that's needed, knowledge.
That's right.
Absolutely. And the girls, they would soak that knowledge up that you have to tell them. And any kind of, like crafts that you do or anything that you're specialty in, the girls would love learning this stuff.
Right. Sewing or gardening.
Nursing, teaching, sewing.
Yes.
Space.
Oh, yes.
Canning,
Jet
even,
pilot.
Science.
Canning is something that, used to
it's
be.
good to know, yeah.
People knew, and I think nowadays that would be a really good thing to know. Gardening
Absolutely.
and canning.
Is that a lost art?
Canning? I think it's coming back more so now.
I do too.
Yeah, I think for a while it kind of faded away a little bit, but I think it's starting to come back.
I remember my grandparents. Just 20 years ago, they had a cabinet from floor to ceiling with canned everything.
Right, right. And they probably grew their own garden.
It
right?
was, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought it was nearly a lost art, and I think there's a resurgence.
Yes.
They would can apples, tomatoes, carrots, green beans.
Mm-hmm. And it's healthier, too. You can tie that in with
applesauce or on apple butter.
Yeah.
Yes. Healthier, tastes better, and it's going to provide, I think,
Well, what about, and think about it, with the canning comes survival skills. Okay, I just came back from Tennessee, and how many people went by me on I-40 that's traveling by themselves? And some of them, girls maybe 21, 22 years old, and maybe going home or back to college after a break or something, What are you going to do? How do you teach them to protect themselves? Say you're going from mountain home to Nashville like I did, and their car breaks down.
We have some mechanics out there that want to teach the girls how to do a few things like change tires or anything like that.
Basics, yeah.
Yes.
Or how to recognize the dashboard indications that there's a problem.
Yep.
Kind of, there are some things that dads used to do, teach their daughters or their sons different things. And, again, referring back to the culture, there may be a lot of girls that may not have a daddy there that's helping them learn certain things. My dad taught me how to not change the oil, but for sure how to check the oil and certain things. And he was like, you need to be mindful of this and how to check the pressure in the tires if you were getting ready to go somewhere, those kinds of little things. And it would be if there's a man out there listening that has those skills and would have the time to come and show these young ladies some things, I think that'd be great.
And I'm looking at you, Dale.
We welcome
right up your alley.
Yes, it is.
And we welcome dads too.
Like me changed the power steering hose in the driveway yesterday.
That's good.
Should have called the Girl Scouts.
Should have called them.
Come on out and watch Dale work.
There you go, and we could earn a badge for that.
There
probably
you go.
We could find a badge for that for them to earn.
That would be great. And I also noticed, you were talking about anybody can volunteer, and they can volunteer for a short term or a long term, and it is year round. So throughout the school year and during the summer. So there's
volunteering. We set our own times that we want to do our troop meetings, how long we want to do it. If we want to do it every week, every other week. It's not something that has to be set in stone all the time.
So you can work around a volunteer's schedule. If they say, I'd love to help, but I'm only available at certain times, you're like, that's not a problem. We can work around that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And even with those cookies, that's a lot of work on the parents. And I'm sure not every kid has maybe both parents.
Yes.
So a volunteer may be helping the kids with that cookie. That is a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. But the girls enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
They enjoy it. They like, especially when they're little, they really like getting out there and selling them cookies. And we appreciate everybody who helps sponsor the girls by eating the cookies.
Yes.
They're very good.
What they are, they're so delicious. And then, you're eating them and enjoying them, and then you're like, you read the side of the box, and it's like, oh my goodness, I don't think I should eat another one of those. I've already exceeded my limit for the day.
But it only comes around once a year.
Once a year, you're right.
Once a year.
In the wintertime, right? When you're
and they freeze really good if they make it that long.
That's good to know.
If they make it that long.
Do you know what the favorite flavor, what's the top selling flavor? Or
I would say Thin Mints.
I was going to say that
Thin
is
Mints.
the most delicious.
Snickerdoodle's probably pretty close.
I like the peanut butter cookie.
We don't have Snickerdoodles here
in
Mountain Home. We don't have the Snickerdoodles.
You don't?
I might get my cookie names mixed up. My daughter got some Girl Scout cookies, and there was something there that was very good.
What we used to call the Caramel Delights, maybe?
Oh, yeah. I remember those, yeah.
Ooh.
Let's see if it's on this website
So
right here.
good.
Cookies and more.
They probably, I think some of them might have changed names throughout the years with the generations. They had some retro names that were adorable.
Yeah. The last few years, we've changed the names on some of them, but the Thin Mints have always been Thin Mints.
Yes.
Shortbread cookies are, shortbread cookies.
Those are good. Wasn't there one called a doozy or something like that?
Yeah.
I was trying to remember some of those older names of what the cookies used to be called. Some of them.
We had Samoas and, like I said, the Caramel Delights.
Right.
But Thin Mints is my favorite.
I
stick them in the freezer and eat them right out of the freezer.
Nice
but that's good. February 12th, 2016, initial order and online sales begin. February 26th through 28th, 2016, National Girl Scout Cookie Weekend.
Wow.
And March 6th of 2016, initial orders end, and then booth sales begin. You'll probably be out in front of like Harps and Walmart and places.
Mm-hmm.
And then April 24th of 2016, booth sales and online orders end. So February through April.
Online ordering. So now you can. Oh, wow.
You can order them online and have them shipped directly to you now.
I miss the element of getting to see and meet a young lady. But I guess that's the world we live in.
Does that not take the money away from...
No, because you, if you order online, you order through a girl, and then it still goes to, they still get the credit from their troop.
Okay. Because I'm all about local.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's wonderful.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Anything else we need to know about Girl Scouts before we take another break?
Just that we need volunteers to help us out.
So for volunteers, Jerry, I can't read your writing.
Melody at 479-695.
That's a 9?
That's an engineer's 9.
Oh, excuse me.
479-695-1818.
Yes.
During the break, I'll take a course in hieroglyphics so I can read your writing. We're going to take a quick break. Stick around. Be right back. 7:48. Finishing out the show, we're visiting with Kate Butterfield, talking about the Girl Scouts, and then I want Lori to talk a little bit about Mountain Home Christian Academy before we close out the show, too.
Sure.
The kids come in doing the prayer. Mm-hmm. Where are we at?
Volunteers and donations, too.
Yes.
You all accept donations. I guess they would need to go to your website to get that information.
For the donations. Actually, if you have a troop that you want to donate for, you just get with the troop leader, and they can go through the procedure of getting your donations.
And who are some troop leaders in town?
I myself am a troop leader, and we have.
Yeah, like if they wanted to find out who the troop leaders are that are local, is there a way they could get a list? Or
Melody.
Okay.
Melody, you could get a hold of Melody, and she could tell you who all the troop leaders are in our area.
Okay.
And what ages the girls are, what, like if they're brownies or daisies or...
And that was the same web address and phone number that you gave out earlier.
Yes.
For Melody Sykes.
Melody Sykes.
479-695-1818.
And we appreciate all donations.
And they're tax deductible, right?
Yes,
It's a
yes,
nonprofit, so especially we're coming up on the end of the year. A lot of people sometimes like to make year-end donations, and sounds like the Girl Scouts would welcome your donations and would benefit from those.
Yes, they would. Donate and your time.
And your time.
And your
sounds
time.
like that's a great need and desire there is the volunteer time and for people to come and share their skills and knowledge.
And I'd assume you all have developed quite a few leaders, and there's probably some old school Girl Scouts out here who have made it pretty good. I'm sure you all would like to hear from them, like an old timer that might have been in the Girl Scouts back in the 40s.
Oh, we would love that. I would love that.
I would too. That's something that really interests me.
Yes, experience.
So that kind of volunteering would be just talking. I mean, you don't have to just bring your experience to the table.
Yeah, anytime you want to come and just tell about your when you were younger and how you were growing up and stuff, get hold of a leader, and I'm sure all the girls would, they would really love to hear about it.
That number again, 479-695-1818. Contact Melody Sykes for all things dealing with Girl Scouts.
Yes.
We'll talk to Lori Mathis for just a minute. Appreciate the kids coming in doing the prayer.
Yes. They're so excited about it. We, I'm so grateful that the station starts their program with prayer, and it was just an idea. It was something, we'd listen and hear you doing the morning prayer, and you do a great job, Dale.
Thank you.
And was visiting with someone, and it was like, why couldn't the kids come in and help? Because prayer is such a huge part of our school. We pray there every morning. We start every day with prayer. And a lot of times we'll ask a student to lead, or a student will raise their hand and say they have a prayer request, or they would like to lead a prayer for a specific thing. And so we started thinking about that, and you were so gracious to say, welcome them here. And they have jumped on board, and it's so cute because sometimes you have kids that are like, I would like to do it again, and so we're like, okay, so we have some that are real eager, and then we have others that need a little encouragement, and I'd like to do it, but I get really nervous, or and the thing, we encouraged them. I know sometimes some of the prayers are read, and it's the way we've spoken to the children is God can put something on your heart that you would like to pray for the community or something going on in the nation. And if you feel like you get a little nervous, just because you write it down doesn't mean it's not from your heart. You're just going to put on paper what's already in your heart, and it helps you when you're in front of the microphone if you want to have a sheet to guide you as to remember what was already in your heart. So they've done a great job. We're very proud of them. We have some older students that are going to be coming in a little later. Yeah. And offering prayers.
So we're going to pick it back up. We got tomorrow and Friday, and then January 4th, pick it back up.
That's right.
Now, coming down tomorrow to do some recording.
Yes, especially for the ones that get a little nervous. Or we do have some families like the mom or dad have to be at a really early job and they're unable to come, but the child keeps saying, I really, really want to do this. And you've been so gracious to accommodate that by being able to record that. And they're excited about that, too.
We're going to come down to the school tomorrow with some recording stuff and keep them going.
Yes, that's exciting. That the parents are grateful for that, to have, make it happen for the student.
And that's a great way to start the day.
Turn it, Mike, so we can hear it.
Absolutely love it. Do you all have a choir? Maybe we could get a little song.
Oh, well, we have what we do, the Mountain Home Christian Academy and the Homeschool Association work together.
Oh, wow.
And every year we do a musical in the spring. And we also partner together, like for our athletic teams, our boys basketball, junior and varsity basketball, and our girls junior and varsity Lady Eagles volleyball. We have homeschool students that come and participate with us. And we do the same thing with our choir and drama. And we also have a lady. Again, we also at the Mountain Home Christian Academy are very big on volunteers. So all of our extra things like PE, choir, art, and library time, those kinds of things are all facilitated by volunteers. And I would issue the same call. We need and love volunteers, and we welcome, like Dale pointed out, this is a community of retirees, and we welcome that rather than looking at a retiree and thinking, well, they're older, they don't have anything to offer. It's completely the opposite. Your life's experience, you are a treasure with so much to share. Come and share your time and knowledge and experience. We have so much we can learn from you. And so, to answer your question, we do have a choir. In the spring, we don't really do any performances. Sometimes at Christmas they'll do something, but mainly in the spring when we start working on our drama and musical production that takes place every spring.
I was just thinking it'd be cool to have the prayer followed with a little Christmas song or something.
Yes. You know what? Let's work on that for next Christmas since we're down to our last couple of days.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do that. Well, we might be able to slip something in there. We'll see.
You got a few troopers.
We do. We just did our
everything scheduled on Christmas Eve.
On
Christmas the choir
Eve. Maybe so. Talk to Sandy. We had our Christmas program last week. 15 seconds. And so a lot of our students were singing in that, and that went well. And we had to have it in our gymnasium because we're growing. We couldn't fit in our commons anymore, and we're getting ready to build a high school building, and so that's a whole other story.
All right, that pretty well wraps it up. For Girl Scouts, volunteer 479-695-1818. Mountain Home Christian Academy 424-6622. Let's help everybody out. Everybody needs a little bit of help.
Yeah.
That wraps it up. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.